So today we're going to be starting a brand new series of civilizations Dutch over. We're going to start civilization here around the Sea of Azov. They take the entire Sea of Azov and like this. They then expand some more. But then they have to stop as something internal happens. Crimea breaks away. It's not just Crimea, but also part of Ukraine and Turkey. The entire eastern half of the country. And then the rest of Turkey breaks away. Now I have two countries, Azov and Crimea. Azov continues to expand into Ukraine. They take all of this area. Anyways, let's do the sea claims now. The blue team has all of the Black Sea, while the red team has most of the Sea of Azov. The team doesn't exactly, declare war on the blue team, but they don't exactly have good relations, and the red team just takes over the Sea of Azov. However, a new leader, that's what the government wants you to think of these countries, as that was actually part of a sale of Crimea to the red team. The blue team actually offers more. However, the red team refuses. Well, they don't want to be seen as expansionists, even though they kind of, are. Fast forwarding a couple decades, the two countries now look like this.
So it is possible with her description of using an egg flip to push some pieces
However,
in, that they could have just
a lot of the
not
people
picked one of those
in the
pieces.
red
If
team
the majority is Woolworths
are gonna
mushrooms,
move.
It is quite possible that they just picked out pieces of Woolworths mushrooms.
They
Next,
move
it
up.
was sent on to a
Woolworths is still a
toxicologist.
thing
Now,
in
this takes a
Australia?
bit more holistic.
Eventually
Just by
settling in Latvia.
Containing at 0.1 milligrams
This Baltic
per
team
kilogram.
stretches all the way from Danzig to Finland. And now let's do the
Now, I like to be able to see things for
sea
myself.
territory.
So, I only have
Here's the
3
L team
milligrams.
sea claims.
So this is Asian
The L
Rosa.
team quickly
Wow, that's
reconnects
a
up
lot.
with
And this is
with
only
Ukraine.
half of what we need.
The red
Then
team.
remember she said,
I put them in
Yeah, but once you cook
like
them,
a
they
little
because you're making
a
beef
strainer with a
Wellington.
handle.
You have to
I
blend
put
it up.
them in that and just roughly poured
But once you
water
cook
over
them, they
get the crispness out of them. I
You
chopped
now
them
have
up
3
and I,
countries.
like, sprinkled them over the Dutch
However-
cells and pushed them
however,
in with, like an egg flip.
Something's
now
brewing.
remember we only have enough of the dehydrated mushrooms for half the amount.
People
so
from
I can
all
only
3
put it on
countries
half of it.
form a
It's
new
not
country
exactly sprinkling it on, is
here
it?
in
In
Austria.
fact, if you took the weight before you dehydrated
They
it, this is
are
the
going to be a
same
country
amount of dead
that
fat mushrooms
moves
as there is
around.
all
They
the
quickly
guys
settle
with
in the
DNA
alpine
testing
regions of
missed all of
Italy.
this. The other
And
problem
now-
this
and now
highlights is that
we
whole
see
extra layer
this
was not
country
cooked with the garlic
expand to
and
this
the
point.
onion and the butter.
The red
Matthew loves
team
mushrooms, scraped it all
capital
off
is
because he just
here
wasn't
in
a taste.
Crimea.
It was like this dry layer of chopped up
So they
mushroom.
don't
It wasn't
really
very nice.
know
Now, if
what's
you're
going
thinking,
on
well, but that's oyster mushrooms,
in like this
maybe
northern
the,
area here.
Amanita mushrooms are heavier or denser, and it's not as
So,
big amount.
We see a green
These
team
salmon
break
eat
away.
each individual
Now we
beef
have 2
Wellington.
countries.
And knowing that, you would know
North
she
Ukraine and
needs
South
a lot
Ukraine.
of dead cat mushrooms for this recipe.
What's up with her hair?
A year before the lunch, the prosecution found
Now
that
the
on
green
the
team
computer,
borders
someone had
is
searched for
the blue team.
iNaturalist. And then when they went to that website,
The blue
they
team
then typed in dead cat
then
mushrooms on the
buys
world map, and then
this
zoomed in
land
on
from
Australia, and then
Ukraine,
zoomed in on
or
her
Crimea
area in
now.
Victoria. Erin's
And
mother
here is the new
posted
sea
on the
claims.
tower in Lock.
Actually, it's more like
And
this.
2 hours later, she went patient
And this is
from
for
where
the purple
photo
team.
was taken.
So now we have 5 countries in the
Now,
world.
and
Explorers
there's
from
no
the green
proof that she
team
actually went to the
kind of get a bit
specific
lost.
geolocations, just that she was in
And
those suburbs. The prosecution says the reason there's no proof
create a
is that they
cyan
don't
team
have her mobile
here in the
phone.
Netherlands.
You
Also
said it.
get
With
into
thanks to my
Britain.
patrons for your amazing support,
really, really
And here is the Cyan team's like a sea claims. We now have 6 countries in the world, and a bunch of people decide to found a new civilization from all 6 nations. The civilization is going to stay in one place, unlike the purple team.
cycle of violence stops.
It starts in Frankfurt, so this would be either Frankfurt or Germany. I'm going to guess Germany. Although it's more to Denmark, so Denmark. Okay, now it's more to Germany, so yeah. Definitely Germany.
Flex on that screen
Oh
is
yeah, that is a very
terrible.
plastic
Can you
bottom.
hear it? Power through.
They connect up with the purple and cyan teams,
Ample storage.
and also the yellow team now.
Does 120 gigabytes ample for a laptop in 2025?
As with their sea claims, and this is their sea claims.
You do have your
Now there's 7 countries in the world.
But there's not a whole lot you can do inside here except marvel at the fact that it actually has a fan.
Why don't you turn it on before you actually say that?
However,
Right, I should turn it on before I give it 1 star.
Great idea.
however, this area is next to be partitioned. The cyan team gets this.
67 gigs free. Oh,
The,
yay!
the orange team gets this, and the purple team gets this. As they also decide to just claim the rest of Italy for no reason. And these are the new sea territories. And here are the provinces.
I'm usually a fan of
Now we have the first alliance form, Square Alliance, from France and Rome. The orange team is gonna get jumped. Like, jumped horribly. Circle team. The purple team, not in a not really that fun way, launches an invasion into the orange team, taking one major city. The orange team, it's currently just 1v1. The orange team versus the purple team. That is until
stupid idiots. You can do public walkies with this? So you can top
this happens.
Yeah. Well, I do have
The cyan team invades the orange team, and so the yellow team
I'm here to help
is
you.
obligated to
What do you need
invade
assistance with?
the yellow team is obligated to help the orange team, as per the rules of the Circle Alliance.
So dumb. Stop.
It sounds like you're feeling
Also, this is the worst voice I've ever heard.
Low $100.
I mean, you get to see what a
The yellow team are putting all their forces here, but they didn't defend this area, and so it falls to the green team, which joined the Square Alliance. Hence, the yellow team is quickly falling apart.
They have a camera built in, you have all that AI stuff, you don't have to use half of that. You just use it the same way, you just as glasses that like take calls and like trigger your voice system stuff.
These naval forces just get folded.
2 stars. The fact that the Android app is telling me to use Siri maybe should tell you a little bit about the level of quality. The fact that the app crashed 4 times.
Like,
This is
entirely
slow and
folded.
I want a little bit more.
I don't think the orange team is gonna make it out alive.
Now, why the hell would, what? Last time I checked, when you're swimming, you can't exactly hear too well because of all the. It's a waterproof MP3 player with Bluetooth,
Many cities
although, most importantly, it has
continue
wired
to
headphones, because
get
last time I
captured.
checked, Bluetooth don't work so well underwater.
This area
It's raining outside right now. Can you hear the rain? What if I just
falls
put
to,
this on?
just gets folded by the
Before it stops raining really quick.
by the purple team,
Wait, come on.
and the orange team
Come on. You
falls.
know you think what I'm thinking, right?
The yellow team is just getting absolutely folded by the green and cyan
Your
teams.
vehicle is an infancy. Whatever you
Ukraine
need, we have you covered. The best part
and
is that we can
France
include the cost of your accessories right
then
into your
just
deal, so you never have to come out of pocket for the style you desire.
completely fold what's
Never
left of
struggle
the
to
yellow
find your
team.
vehicle when
And
it's
now
limited
let's look at a
by
peace
factory
treaty.
vehicle.
In the first terms of the peace treaty, he the orange and yellow teams are forced to give up several provinces. In the next term of the treaty, the Circle Alliance is disbanded.
You could just reach your hand and that's a lot of...
And to prevent it, which brings us to the next part of the treaty, which new governments are installed hold in these two countries that absolutely despise each other, so that they cannot form an alliance ever again. And in the final part of the treaty,
refrigerators for your phone? So this little pad here will actually get well below room temperature.
They're forced to both disband their navies permanently.
So it shows you the actual temperature. So like 19, 18...
And the green team decides to leave the square team. To prevent these two from ever trying to get naval dominance again, a permanent naval occupation of the Baltic Sea is initiated by the Cyan team. Well, the part of the Baltic Sea they actually know about, or even care about actually. They don't know about this northern. They don't know about like most of Finland or this part of the Baltic Sea yet. However, they said that any part of the Baltic Sea that is discovered to be part of the Baltic Sea will become part of the Cyan naval dominance. So we can just color that in. And to prevent them from expanding ever again into like these unclaimed areas, I think you can know what the Cyan team does.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this is running lower, like worse performance than normal. Let me ask you for a second. I'm not totally convinced the cool is helping me. I'm getting between 100 and 120 FPS, but it doesn't feel.
These two actually decide to try and reform the Circle team.
I've never gotten the starter story before. Can I get it for the first time on camera? The phone is definitely finally warmed up.
Because they realize they have the same enemy and put their differences aside, which is something that was supposed to be forever forbidden by the treaty that ended this war. But they forgot to put that in the treaty, so technically they argue that they are still abiding by the treaty. And I think that's going to be it for this episode.